Help! Help me! Help me, please!
If you want to help yourself, be yourself, and grow, then look no further, because you're here. Personal Development Unplugged.
Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Cloughie. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey friend, how you doing? I think, like most of us, I say most of us, big generality, Cloughie again, but we've all gone through some shit. We've gone through some dark times. Well, certainly I have. And I think because of that, it made me more interested in searching for tools, processes, protocols, whatever you want to call them, to assist in my mental well-being, but also to help other people's mental well-being. You know, even to the things of, I know you've got depression, you've got OCD, all that stuff, but you've also got not feeling bad, not feeling down, sad, alone, grief, so many different types of things that can affect your mental well-being. Even the thing of just loss of confidence, you know, loneliness, agoraphobia, or as they say, I think in the US, agoraphobia. I don't know. But you fill in the blank, because anything and everything is part of, or is something that could affect your mental well-being, your mental health. And over those years, because of that dark time, I found a lot of protocols, a lot of processes, a lot of tools, but I also use them to develop them in many different ways, to let go of, and I call it stuff. That's what I call these mental, these issues that we have. They're just stuff. And some of those processes, either I found or developed, or some I did develop completely by myself. Some it's just like an evolution that I just felt I could make it better. Dealt or help clients get rid of really big stuff. But that's big stuff. And you know what I'm going to say about big stuff is, if something is getting on you, is pulling you down, holding you back, making you feel really bad, and it's constantly on your mind, go and get it sorted straight away. Go and find a hypnotherapist, someone who does NLP, someone who does timeline therapy, who's a master hypnotist. Get it done really quickly, 1-to-1. You'll get it done in 2 or 3 sessions. Because if they can't do that, then they're not that good. But they should be able to do it really quickly. But what about, here's the thing, and this is what this podcast is about. What about the everyday stuff? The little stuff. But the trouble with little stuff, you see, it starts little. Even if you've had a big problem that's you've got rid of it, or you're experiencing bigger issues, they all started way back in the past generally, and they were really small. And your unconscious mind tried to do something to help you to get over that issue, and then it started to do the same thing more often. And then it did it in different contexts, which were similar but not the same. And after a while, you tend to find that issue is generalized into all different contexts, not just the one you started off with. So, getting hold of that little stuff is big stuff, if that makes sense, because it's a big deal. So never just think, and I know we do because we're bloody adults, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. But it could be. And why not just do something really quickly to get rid of it? Because then it won't generalize into bigger stuff. It won't generalize into every different area of your life. And the other thing, what happens is, you deal with it, and what happens is, the results you get, they generalize into every area of your life. So you become more confident, more more likable to yourself, all that stuff. You just feel more about you, and you take that everywhere, and you just keeps growing. But the thing is, the more I look for these things, the more I seek them out, I'm reminded of the simple stuff that I've learned or developed. And I think that's probably where I got into this thing. In simplicity, there is genius.
In simplicity, there is genius.
In simplicity, there is genius.
Maybe that's why I got hooked on just that. I don't know, maybe it is. Because I've always learned that simple stuff really works. And I've seen it so many times. I've seen people who are superb in what they do, as in giving demonstrations of therapy. And when things are going not quite the way they planned, they always say, do you mind if I go back to the simple stuff? And here's the thing. I'm not going to talk about any of that. What? No, I'm not going to talk about it. We're going to do them together. And we're going to do them together now. Yeah, that surprises, doesn't it? So I want you to get ready to give yourself some time to experience, well, maybe a couple of processes. Simple processes that you can make a note of. You can do it with me so you know what it is. You can then come back and listen to this again, mark the time, and then you can just do it whenever you want. But at least you'll have the tools to deal with simple stuff really early, so it doesn't get to the big and the bad and the ugly. Yeah? So what am I talking about? What type of issue are we talking about? Well, I'm saying, and a lot of this is from my experience. When you wake up with a feeling, that's unpleasant. It just doesn't feel right. Or sometimes, something happens. So I get this when I'm writing in my bloody journal. I'm writing something, and all of a sudden I get like a negative emotion. I've triggered it myself. It's a feeling. And it's not quite really sad, and it's not really down, and it's not, at least a sort of a worried, it's sort of anxiety, anxious, but it's, I don't know, it's one of those, ugh. Or it could be anxiety, or it could be worry, or it could be down, it could be sad, but it's just there. Have you had that? Because that's what I've had. And this is the type of thing I'm thinking of, because they're starting off small. This is like how things start before they evolve into the bigger stuff. So what happens? What happens in the real world? What do we do with it? We get that funny feeling. We don't like it. What do? We push the bugger away, don't we? Or we try to. We push it down, we push it away, we try to ignore it. That's another way of pushing it away, just ignore it. It's there. Because it keeps coming back, doesn't it? And do you know what the answer is to that? And it's a Bob Newhart thing. Stop it. So if you Google on or YouTube Bob Newhart, stop it, you'll see a great skit. But just stop it. Stop pushing things away, because when you push them away, your unconscious mind will push it even harder, push back harder, because it's trying to do something for you. Yeah. So what do you do then, Cloughie? Come and tell us. I'll tell you now. Here's a simple thing. Acknowledge it. Said before, we don't accept these things, because accepting them is like I'm accepting that it's right, that it's okay. No, I'm acknowledging I don't feel good. I'm acknowledging maybe I feel a little bit of worry. I'm acknowledging maybe I feel a little bit of anxiety, a little bit down, a little bit sad, a little bit whatever. You fill in the blank. And once we acknowledge it by acknowledging that it has a reason for being here. Okay. I speak to my unconscious mind, speak out loud in my head. Okay, I don't like this feeling, but I'm sitting with it for the moment, and I know you have a reason for being here. You're trying to do something for me. Let's do a little bit of work. So what do we do? Well, what we do is we take 5 minutes. Really, Cloughie? Yeah, 5 minutes. And we find somewhere where we can generally be undisturbed, because you don't want to be distracted, do you? Now, you might want to get a pen and paper to write some of this stuff down. But hey-ho, you can come back. But I do, if you can, do it with me. So if you're going to do it with me, maybe you can think of a time when you did have that funny old feeling, because it might come back. Find a little place where you be undisturbed. Yeah? Because I want you to sit in that feeling and describe it. Nothing else. We're not pushing it away. We're not trying to change it. We're just going to describe it in a minute. Okay? And you're also going to say, thank you for whatever you're trying to do. Don't know what it is yet. I just know you're trying to do something positive for me. So thank you. We're just not getting it right at the moment, but thank you. And be honest with that part of you, that feeling. Because it is trying to do something. If your best friend was trying to do something, but they weren't quite doing it right, you'd still say thank you, wouldn't you? And let's see if we can get it better. So we're going to describe this feeling. First of all, thank you. Get into it. And just sit there. What? Yeah, just sit there quietly. And begin to get curious. What does that mean? Well, the curiosity part goes, well, where is it exactly? And a lot of people go, oh, it's in my head. Well, sometimes it is in your head, but sometimes it comes from somewhere else and goes to your head where you make all those bloody pictures and movies and sounds and words. And just think, where is it in my body? If it's in my head, where's it come from first? Because you tend to find, worry and anxiety and sadness, that is somewhere normally in your gut, somewhere in your gut. That's a big generality, Cloughie, I know. But just sit there, where is it? And what I do with my clients, I say, put your hand on it, or roughly where it is, just put your hand on it. So you're acknowledging it now, aren't you? Going, gotcha. So now you know where it is exactly in your body. Okay, that's a start. A real acknowledgement. Does it have a size? What size is it? Oh yeah. Well, it's actually this big. And I get my clients to describe it. What size? Exactly. Show me with your hands. Fingers. Yeah, just show me how big it is. And now you know where it is and the size of it. Does it have a weight? Oh, actually it's quite heavy, or it's a bit light. Oh yeah. Does it have a temperature, by the way? Is it hot, cold, neutral? Well, actually, when you think about it now, it's a bit cold, a bit heavy just down there. What else? Does it vibrate? Does it move at all? No, it's pretty stationary at the moment. I can't really detect anything like that. Okay, what colour is it? What? Yeah, what colour is it? If it had a colour, what colour would it be then? Oh. Yeah. It's a bit of a darky red. Okay. And now when you're really now getting access to the thing, because now you're really acknowledging it and you're being in that feeling. You're in there describing it. Put your mind into it. Okay, I'm going to right into this feeling, into my stomach, into this size, this weight, temperature, this colour, this darker red maybe. And just ask, what do you want for me? What are you trying to do? Now sometimes an answer or an intuition will come to you. Not necessarily words, but it might be just like an idea. Might come to you now. Or it might be a little bit later, like being intuitive about something else. Or you could add to this. What do I need to do or not do? What can I learn? And just get inquisitive, curious. Because intuition comes in so many different ways. It could come in words, it could come in a memory, it could come in a different emotion, it could come in just a thought. And the thing is, when you spend time putting your attention right into the center of that feeling, and you get curious of all these different, we call them submodalities, but just the different qualities of that feeling, you tend to notice it begins to fade because you've asked the right questions. And sometimes as you're there, you might say, well, I wonder what it would be. Because at the moment it's a darky red. What would happen if it was a blue? Because blue is quite calm for me. What would happen if I changed that to blue? Just imagine then changing it to a colour. Colour of another emotion that comes to mind. Because what's the colour of understanding? What's the colour of calm? And just notice if you changed that feeling, the colour of that feeling. Notice what happens. Now with my clients, what I do, I explain to them, well, every feeling has a movement. It does move, by the way. It moves in a circle. It's like it will either go clockwise, anti-clockwise, flatwards, clockwise, anti-clockwise, in some direction around your body. Sometimes I say to my client, well, what would you imagine if you imagine it coming out of your body, flipping it round, spin it the other way, and come back into your body. What happens now? And I know what happens now, by the way. I knew before it was good. When we did it, they go, oh, it's gone. And if you want to know about that, go to #94. And I think there's a hypnosis track, #94.2. I don't know why it's 0.2. Normally 0.1, but #94.2. And it's spinning. And it tells you how to change the colours and the spinning and the direction and things like that, and how to get rid of things. But it's all about learning. Yeah. There you go. And one of the big things you remember, or to remember, breathe. Take a breath before you start. Pause. Set your intention. I'm going to get curious. Maybe I should have said that at the beginning. Stop. Pause. I'm going to get curious about this feeling because I want to find out and have it change into something more appropriate. Because that's all it is. It's your unconscious mind using an emotion which is no longer appropriate. And we want to find a better one. There you go. Let's do one more. Let's say we have a worry, a little anxiety over a thing, a person, and it's starting to get out of control. It's like it's in your I say that again. It's in your thoughts all the time. It's always there. It's like a loop. And then maybe it's a conversation you're having that's, by the way, you're not, because it's in your mind. You're having a conversation with your bloody self, even though you think you're having it with that other person. Or if it's a thing and you think it's going to go wrong, hasn't gone wrong yet, by the way, because you're just imagining it going wrong. And again, this is just your unconscious mind saying, let's prepare. That's what anxiety is. It's just a thing to help you prepare. So what do? You say, okay, maybe we pause, set our intention, because I want to acknowledge it again, because it's all about acknowledging. Okay, you're there. This anxiety, this worry. And I understand. It's only here to protect me. Protect me in a way to get me to prepare. But the trouble is your unconscious mind, what it does is it gives you the worst of scenarios. And what happens? You see the worst of scenarios because it wants you to feel so bad that you really do prepare, but then it gets overwhelming, doesn't it? and you don't prepare. That's what happens. So the intention to protect you from things going wrong is absolutely bloody wonderful. It's just the behaviour of seeing the worst scenario or going through the wrong conversations of how bad they are. So what do? Take another breath. And this time you need to get a pen and paper, pencil and paper, because we want to get these thoughts, these worries out of our head. And if you put them on paper, then you can always come back to them. So you don't need to think about them anymore. So what do? You go, I've got this worry, this anxiety, this thing going on in my head. What exactly is it? What is it? This anxiety. What's it about? We peel the layers off because we think, it's because of that. Oh, no, it's not really that, because just below that, it's actually, maybe it's that. Oh, no, actually, it's about this one thing. I've made it bigger than it is. It's not about that person everywhere. It's not about that event that's going to happen in the whole of it. It's that one little thing in that event. It's that one little thing that I'm upset with that person about, or I need to have that conversation. Get it on paper. And when you get it down to specificity, which is a lovely word I love to use, bringing all the layers down to be so specific. What is this thing? Now when it's so small, you can bloody handle it now. Couldn't handle that bloody loop. But now you go, let's find a better way. So here's a way. Realistically, reasonably, what is the worst that might happen, that could happen, maybe happen? They're all very vague, aren't they? But this is realistically. So the world's not going to end. Things aren't going to end up that way you've been thinking about. Well, maybe we just have a longer conversation. Maybe someone might get a little upset. Maybe I've got to do a bit of extra work. Maybe someone's going to be a bit upset. Something like that. But that's all it's going to be. Okay, well, now I know what realistically, reasonably, the worst that could happen, might happen, maybe happen. What steps could I make to mitigate that? And write them down. And there'll be at least 4 or 5 different options. Well, this is for me because I'm an options person. I can always find an option. But you just throw those options down on that piece of paper. Well, I could do this, I could do that. Could do that. I could also do that because that would stop that and this would do that. And then you go, well, what's the best one? Or maybe what's the best two and put them together. And now in your head, you're thinking of a strategy. And once you've got a strategy, your unconscious mind is starting to think of how it could implement that strategy. Because you've just now, what steps could I take? And your unconscious mind goes, that's a bloody good question. I'm going to help you find those steps. So it stops the worry because now it's working to a conclusion which will be a better way to protect you. And then you think, okay, I've got those few steps in mind, how to mitigate things. Let me think for a moment. Take another pause. Set your intention to visualize. How would I like it to be? Yeah. How would I like this thing to pan out, to run? Yeah. So you can see it now, see in your mind's eye of you creating the scenario that you feel would be the best thing that could happen. And you might ask yourself as you're doing this, so what steps could I do? Might I do? What steps to take that might just ensure this happening? What are the emotions I'd like to have? What would be the best emotion that would help see this through? What would be the best belief to have? A couple of behaviours maybe. Those behaviours might be physically, that you breathe differently. You stay calm. Maybe you pause, listen, have patience, all those different things. Oh, they're good alternatives, Cloughie. Yeah. And the thing is, when you start doing this, you know you got it. And your unconscious mind, again, while you're thinking about how I want it to be and what steps could I take and what would be the best emotion, your unconscious mind is trying it on for you, finding better ways. And the thing about this is when you have your unconscious mind finding better ways, it has to use the better ways. It can't go back to the old worry because the old worry isn't as good as the new ways. And the thing is, because you consciously and unconsciously are now aligned to this, and you're taking responsibility for it, for the action, and you're going to take action, you will feel a wonderful sense of empowerment. That's what it is, because you are now at the cause of these things that are going to happen. And you're in charge. And yeah, sometimes they may not pan out exactly, but I tell you what, they're going to pan out that much better than you ever were worrying about. And also you will, is it called acting on your feet? Because you'll take intuitive action. If things aren't quite going according to plan, you'll go to one of those other mitigating actions. Different emotion, different behavior, different belief. They'll evolve. And once you've done it once, it's a habit. Because your unconscious mind will always pick the best way. There you go. 2 lovely little tools. Yeah? 2 little tools to your mental well-being. 2 little strategies to your mental well-being. And this is only part 1. I'm going to find more. I know I've got loads more. But these are they simple? Because guess what? In simplicity, there is genius.
In simplicity, there is genius.
I hope you enjoyed all that. I hope I explained it so wonderfully, clearly, elegantly, eloquently, and all that stuff. Because I just want you to feel so empowered, because you're in control. And success breeds confidence. Because when you're competent, you will become more confident. And some of these might be a little stretch. But the thing is, when you have this little bit of stretch, you're doing it for the wonderful reasons. You've got the wonderful positive intention in your conscious mind. You're going to grow. Because you've got this. You've got this. And I've got you. I'm supporting you. So if there's anything that you need a little bit more of, or if you go, Cloughie, those are great strategies. Great, because they are. Great tools, because they are. But you say, what about, fill in the blank, what about this? Could I use it for this? Well, I might say yes, but I might say, well, actually, yes, and what about this? And give me an idea of the tools and strategies that you want me to come back with to deal with various issues. Do that. Email me, feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com. Do that. I'll come back to you. I'm the only bugger here, so I'll come back to you personally. And we'll create stuff for all of us. There you go. Please do that. Please share the hell out of this. I know most people don't, but if you would. My sons have set up a WhatsApp group, just the 4 of us at the moment. Yeah, 4 of us. I've got 3 sons. For sharing podcasts, for sharing bits of information that we've found out. So nice. Sometimes it doesn't apply to me, sometimes it doesn't apply to one of my sons, but we all get it. And then because of that, I share it with other people too. If they share something good with me, I go, ooh, so-and-so would like this. So please do share this if you would. Doesn't take a minute. Just a link. And subscribe and follow. All that stuff. Have so much more fun than you can stand. Yeah, wallow in happiness. And be surprised. Just be surprised. Because you might feel happy all day. Go fly.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.